Hello, Internet. I'm just going to do a quick video of the pandemic pinball machine, just kind of do a quick tour, kind of show off the art. This was a hard body pinball machine that I've been working on the art to kind of retheme as pandemic, essentially collecting diseases, traveling around the world just like in the game, collecting diseases and trying to find a cure in this case. Essentially your cure progress is kind of tracked on these test tubes. If you collect the red target bank up here, so those three targets would correspond to the first level in your test tube down here, second, third. Obviously, so if you collect three of the same color, that does then light this center shot, which will raise our ramps on our lower playfield. So revealing kind of an orbit shot underneath. The airplane kind of represents the rapid response game. So rapid response level 1, rapid response level 2, level 3, and level 4, each essentially getting twice the point value per shot. There is a progression there. There is a hurry up, I should say, with that. So if you're at level 4 and don't hit that in time, it's going to go down to level 3. Don't hit that in time, it's going to go back to level 2, and so on. Here's the other ramp with our other target under there, but it's tracked on this side right here. Other area worth pointing out is perhaps the lab area up top. So this is usually shot with our right upper flipper, kind of traveling across over here. These targets kind of act as inlane drop targets almost. So hitting the first one, ball's going to either roll down 50K and then back to the lower playfield, or 25K, which actually I prefer, a little safer up here, and then you're staying on the upper playfield. But you do have to hit target 1, L, A, B, and then are awarded an extra ball. The second target and third target do also correspond to a bonus multiplier. So bonus multiplier 1, bonus multiplier times 2, times 3. Essentially, that's kind of how the game works. There is, on hardbody, it was called this flex save right here. I don't really have that themed right now, but essentially you have a second flipper button on either side that will raise the ramps up. And they also can be auto-saved at times when these lights are lit. So if these rollovers are switched, this will automatically lift up and allow your ball not to drain. So no traditional in-lane, out-lane. You just have the one lane, which essentially acts as both, depending on the position of this diverter, I guess, right there. So these also do light our double playfield value target, which is right here. So if you do go through one of the rollovers, probably more likely this side on the right, through those rollovers and then hit a shot to the times 2 playfield value, you can double your playfield value, which is of course quite lucrative. So along with progressing the cure, I think I mentioned, I mentioned the raising ramps, but the other thing this does is as I complete a test tube, that does increase our cure effectiveness by 10%. So 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. You actually get a bonus as well for collecting one of each. So this would be another 10%, 20%, 30% going across like that as well. So that's still not enough to get 100%, so it'll actually clear out once you have these complete, and you kind of start, not over, but start the lighting again. And again, the goal is to get up to 100%. Once you're at 100%, then any of our target banks, so blue, yellow, red, or green, will actually score our super jackpot. And that is kind of, I guess I would call that the wizard mode in the game, is kind of completing that. Very, very difficult to do. I've never done it on hardbody, and I've owned this game for many years. So like I said, that's kind of really almost impossible, but I'm sure a great Papa level player could end up doing that, but very, very, very difficult. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of show off the artwork again. Again, each of these targets also, this is similar to the pandemic board on the game. In fact, you can even see the kind of grid pattern if you look closely. So blue targets kind of corresponds to North America. Our yellow targets kind of correspond to South America. Our red targets here kind of correspond to our Asia and Australia, and our green targets are kind of our Europe and Africa. I did have to adapt it. It was just going to be overly crowded if I had too many targets there. Ooh, we didn't even mention the pandemic loop. So the upper playfield does have this mini loop up top, and those are epidemic loops on the backboard, kind of above our playfield. Up here, there is a tracker where it kind of tracks the number of epidemics you've had. In this case, it's a good thing, but that actually increases the value of our red disease as well. So I'm getting kind of long, but I'll kind of show off a little more, and maybe I'll think of some other things. This artwork is actually somewhat adapted, so I did add to it. I added the CDC building. I added our Statue of Liberty there. I added I believe it's a Savior statue in Brazil, and our Eiffel Tower is kind of back there hidden through the smoke. But I think it came out pretty nice. I did add these shot lines to help kind of guide you to the ramps, guide you to the orbits. And then on the upper playfield, this clock area. So actually this lights up as you hit a ball under the orbit. That kind of, there's flashers under there that light up and kind of track the ball as it's going across that under that playfield. But then, obviously the stopwatch, even the hands are kind of lined up to be shot lines. Didn't really have a great way of doing the shot lines up here, but I thought that was, as good as I could do, as good as my skill level will allow. One thing I didn't mention was with these test tubes. So we mentioned the cure progress. So on Hardbody, there was actually tournaments that you entered over here, and there was actually 12 stages to those tournaments. So again, that's our cure progress. Actually, the first one just initiates the cure, and then we have 10%, 20%, 30%, all the way up to 100%, and then the super jackpot. So that's our 12 inserts that were up here. And then these inserts that were in here are actually going to correspond to a customized topper. So our topper is going to be interactive, and our topper is actually going to be what is used to track the cure progress. So it's kind of something I hope that kind of everyone would be able to see. So if you're standing around and you notice that nearing the 100% level, that would catch my attention. It might not catch anyone else's attention, but kind of a unique thing with an interactive topper that actually kind of tracks the progress of the game. I did put on water slide decals here, so I actually screwed this up and actually didn't have my red test tube here. For how long I worked on this, I didn't notice. I missed that this was actually, I believe, my yellow test tube a while ago. So I put some water slide decals over the top here. Gosh, they are so thin that I've just been so impressed with water slide decals. They're one of my new favorite toys. And then I used clear water slide decals to actually correspond to the inserts. So each disease, kind of on the board, you can see the blue disease. This is kind of the symbol I'm using. When these are lit up underneath, they really kind of show through, but black on blue doesn't show up as good. Maybe a little easier to see on the yellow here. It doesn't look very good on video, but in person it looks really nice. How these inserts kind of light up with that disease logo. But anyway, that is Pandemic, the pinball machine, formerly a Hardbody. I'm sad to see Hardbody go because it's a game I actually really like. But I'm very excited, and the layout just really, really was conducive to what I wanted for Pandemic. Did start this game before the coronavirus pandemic. Looks like we're nearing the end of that, I hope. Things are starting to return a little bit more to normal, but this has been my pandemic project during a real pandemic. And I'm excited to finally kind of show it off a little bit. So very, very proud of how it kind of came out. Very happy with the progress that's been made so far. Still a ways to go, but at a point where I'm excited to show it off. Hope you enjoy.